cold mob boss Liu Ruyan just went full Yandere. After a breakup talk, she orders him tied to the bed, licking her lips with a deadly smile. Asking where he thinks he's going, Lin Yan was her kept toy boy for 6 months, but today he serves her the breakup papers while she spins a shiny silver dagger. The blade flashes under the chandelier. Shockingly, she actually nods and offers him a luxury riverfront apartment and a Lamborghini as a breakup parting gift. He is internally celebrating because he finally gets to escape this crazy woman. If he stays, her enemies will raid tomorrow and she will absolutely blame him. She would chop him up for her guard dogs. He already picked out a tropical island retirement spot to escape her backbreaking nightly demands. Ruyan puts down the dagger, asking Lin Yan if he is absolutely sure. He nods frantically, terrified she will change her mind. He says he is 100% sure and that he is not worthy of her. He begs her to sign so he can vanish immediately. He is totally done with her psycho mood swings. Just yesterday, because he glanced at a male actor on TV for 2 seconds, she snapped. She literally ordered her assistant to buy the entire TV station. Staying with her is a death sentence. Ruyan grabs her diamond pen to sign. Her gaze locks onto him, colder than a freezing winter wind. Suddenly, she flashes a stunning but bone-chilling smile. Alarm bells ring inside his head. He knows the crazy is about to kick in. But surprisingly, she signs it and tosses the paper aside like trash. He can barely contain his absolute joy. Freedom is right there. He has only one thought left, which is to run before she can change her mind. But as he reaches for the paper, her voice drifts over, asking if he's leaving without a goodbye hug. He freezes. A hug is the last thing he wants. He just needs to run far away from her insatiable, exhausting energy. Every single night leaves him absolutely wrecked, but just as he is daydreaming about his island vacation, a loud crash ruins the moment. Her sharp dagger flies through the air, piercing straight through the breakup papers on the coffee table. The blade digs into the floor right next to his feet. His knees buckle as Ruyan slowly stands up. She walks toward him, licking her red lips with that terrifyingly gorgeous yandere smile, asking where exactly he thinks he is going. He is utterly speechless. Did he accidentally say his escape plans out loud? How on earth does she know? She leans down, pinching his chin with ice-cold fingers, demanding to know his thoughts. He stammers out that it was nothing. Shaking with fear, he watches her call in 2 massive bodyguards. This is where things get completely wild. She calmly orders them to capture her second-in-command, Chen Qiang, accusing him of leaking secrets. Lin Yan is absolutely stunned. Chen Qiang has been her loyal right-hand man for 5 years. How could she possibly know he is a traitor? Ruyan looks at him with a smirk, fully reading his mind, and gives him a bone-chilling stare. She pulls out the dagger and lifts the ruined breakup paper along with the shiny Lamborghini keys. She tosses the keys and papers straight into the fireplace. His dreams of a tropical retirement instantly go up in smoke. Ruyan locks her suffocating, possessive gaze back on him. She orders her guards to tie him to the bed tonight. She wants to see him try to run now. The bodyguards grab his arms while he struggles desperately. He screams that they agreed on a peaceful breakup, but the crazy mafia boss just lets out a terrifyingly cold laugh. She tells them to tie him up tight, and if he resists, they know exactly what to do. He gets thrown onto her massive black velvet bed. They secure his wrists tightly with soft silk scarves. The silk binds him to the headboard, firmer than steel. He can't move an inch as the guards exit. Left alone, Ruyan takes a shower and changes into a loose black silk robe, looking absolutely gorgeous and deadly. Her damp hair falls over her shoulders, framing her face. She has that classic final boss yandere energy. Holding a glass of red wine, she looks down at him. He demands to know what she wants from him. She laughs softly and sits close, the mattress sinking under her weight. Leaning in close, she asks the ultimate dangerous question. How did he know Chen Qiang would betray her? Talk about a stressful moment. His mind races in panic, cold sweat completely soaking through his shirt. He can't tell her he transmigrated into a novel and knows she's a target. She would throw him in a lab. He desperately tries to fabricate a lie, but here's the catch. Runyon can actually read his mind. His thoughts translate in her head as a tragic sacrifice. She thinks he is keeping quiet to protect her from heaven's wrath. Ruyan freezes in sheer shock. Her cold amusement disappears, replaced by complete disbelief and deep emotion. She genuinely believes he is risking his life to protect her. Meanwhile, our boy decides to play dumb. He acts like a shallow boy toy, claiming he simply noticed the traitor looking at her the wrong way. He decides to act completely brain-dead, using some stupid reason so she will just think he is a useless, ambitious idiot. He thinks she is way too smart to believe his nonsense and will throw him out, but little does he know, she is literally reading his mind. Instead of calling him an idiot, she is completely shocked by his inner thoughts. She leans down, her freezing fingers tracing his cheek. Her voice is dominant yet teasing as she whispers right into his ear, blowing warm air that makes him shiver. She tells him to guess. She wants him to guess which corrupt mole in her southern division she should eliminate tomorrow, then leaning her entire weight onto his body. Feeling his body freeze up and tremble, he is sweating bullets. What on earth does this crazy woman want him to do? How is he supposed to guess? The original book did not even mention how many doors that branch has. This is totally out of bounds. If he guesses wrong, is she going to chop him up and feed him to the dogs? He needs a way to fool her, fast. Her smile gets wider as she tells him they have all night to figure it out. She takes a sip of red wine. Then boom! She leans down and presses her cold lips against his, forcing the sweet wine down his throat with absolute authority. He chokes and coughs violently, his face flushing bright red, but she just calmly wipes the wine from his lips with her thumb. With wild, obsessed eyes, she whispers that the game has just begun. Starting tonight, she wants him under her watch 24 hours a day. That news hits him like lightning. Watching him 24 hours a day? He won't even have privacy in the bathroom. This is worse than actual prison. Looking into her obsessively possessive eyes, he feels true despair. This psycho female lead is 10,000 times harder to escape than he thought. He wakes up the next day completely sore and aching. The silk scarf around his wrists has finally been untied, but she is already gone. He struggles to sit up. Lin Yan is a modern guy who values his life above all. How can he escape from this psycho beauty's grip? Since acting mysterious and cold did not work, he decides to go the complete opposite route and act like a total degenerate. He is going to let himself go completely. No underworld boss would tolerate their pet boyfriend being a lazy gaming slob, right? He runs to the kitchen, barefoot, opening a massive fridge that looks like a mini supermarket, packed with organic food and Kobe beef. He completely ignores all the luxury food, reaching straight into the corner to grab a cold soda, 2 bags of chips, and some spicy snacks. Armed with his ultimate trash food combo, he flops right onto the soft leather couch. Honestly, this degenerate lifestyle looks low-key amazing. Turning on the giant television, he connects his console. He's trying to act like a total waste of space so she will kick him out. He stuffs his face with chips while completely dominating his video game, fully believing that no proud mafia queen can tolerate a greasy, trash-talking gamer around. Meanwhile, over at the syndicate headquarters, Liu Ruyan is sitting at the head of the table, listening to reports while staring intensely at her tablet. The tablet is showing a live camera feed of her living room, where our guy is slouched like a slob, stuffing his face. Her assistant, Jen, frowns deeply at the screen, asking what they should do with him, but Ruyan just raises her hand to silence her. Her gaze remains locked on him. Right at that moment, the finance director walks in, holding a thick stack of investment documents. He asks her to make a decision on the Sirius Tech project, urging her to invest $500 million since everyone says it is a guaranteed profit. She doesn't answer. Instead, her eyes are glued to the screen, where Lin Yan is currently piloting a warship and blasting away at enemies. The giant enemy mothership in his game is actually named Sirius, and he is screaming at the screen, getting crumbs all over his clothes. He yells out to destroy the Sirius ship, ranting that its stats are totally fake and the developers must have taken major bribes to design this garbage. He screams that the data is fake and anyone who spends money on this is an idiot. Back in the meeting room, Ruyan hears his thoughts. Back at headquarters, Ruyan's eyes turn sharp as a knife. She realizes his gaming rant is actually a hidden warning. She slams her hand on the table, immediately ordering them to cancel all cooperation with the Sirius project and pull out their funding right away. The entire board is completely stunned. Her financial director turns pale, trying to argue that the project is supposed to be a gold mine. He panics, saying their analysts spent 3 months evaluating this and guaranteed a 300% return. But she just shoots him a freezing glare. She coldly tells him to do as she says and orders them to use all available funds to short the project's parent company. The entire meeting room erupts. Pulling out is one thing, but shorting the company? They are risking billions. But nobody dares to speak a word. No one dares to speak because her cold gaze reminds them that anyone who objects will end up fed to the fish like Chen Qiang. Assistant A, Zhen, looks at the gaming slob on the screen with a totally confused expression. 3 days later, a massive scandal explodes in the news. It turns out the Sirius project's core data was completely faked, pulling off a multi-billion-dollar scam. Its parent company goes into a total freefall. Their stock drops 90% overnight. The CEO runs away with the money, and the company declares bankruptcy, leaving greedy investors completely broke. While other investors lost everything, the Yan Alliance made a complete fortune because they pulled out early and shorted the stock. They made so much money, they basically secured half of the West District. The entire syndicate is completely shocked by her god-level foresight. And everyone in the underworld knows this legendary play only happened because of the mysterious toy boy she keeps locked up in her villa. At this point, the main character is basically viewed as a god-level mastermind inside the Yanmen gang. That night, he is just chilling on the couch after winning a ranked game when Liu Ruyan returns. The boss's tall figure casts a shadow right over him. Our guy is actually thrilled, thinking the boss is finally going to scold him for being a lazy freeloader. He wants to get kicked out so bad, but as Liu Ruyan looks at his grease-stained face and shirt covered in potato chip crumbs, the boss's eyes fill with deep respect. Instead of yelling, he bends down to gently wipe our hero's face, whispering that the master has worked so hard. Bro, this makes our guy completely freeze up in absolute shock, feeling like he got electrocuted. Wait, did the fearsome boss just call him master? He even offers to hire a Michelin 3-star chef to cook whatever he wants, using an unbelievably respectful tone. Our guy is losing his mind because he did absolutely nothing to deserve this. But hearing his frantic inner thoughts, Liu Ruyan's smile only grows even wider. He calls him master again, with eyes full of pure worship. At this point, our hero realizes this world is completely broken, and his plan to look like trash failed. The junk food strategy is a total bust, but he refuses to give up. To be a true degenerate, he needs to rot his brain, not just his stomach. He decides to ruin himself through art instead. He boldly calls the butler over and demands a private art studio equipped with the most expensive canvases and paints. Naturally, he charges everything to the boss's black card. He is absolutely convinced no gang leader could tolerate a crazy person painting absolute trash all day. But the butler just stares at him with sparkling eyes of pure adoration. It is like our guy is not going to paint, but to cultivate some god-level martial arts. The butler quickly converts the grandest room into a luxury studio. Our hero stands before a massive 2-meter canvas, takes a deep breath, and prepares to cook up some pure garbage. Time for some high-level trolling. He grabs a giant brush, dips it in blood-red paint, and slaps a massive, ugly blob on the right side of the canvas. Then he grabs black paint to make a messy, crooked circle on the left. Finally, he takes a sharp palette knife and targets the space right between them. He aggressively slashes a giant, jagged tear right down the middle. Honestly, this is wild, but he thinks it is perfect. A red mess, a black circle, and a huge rip. Even a dog would hate this. There is no way the boss can find meaning here. Feeling super proud of his terrible masterpiece, he even gives it a deep, philosophical name to make the whole thing look even more ridiculous. To ensure the boss sees it immediately, he has 2 bodyguards hang it right in the center of the living room. He hangs it right facing the main entrance. Satisfied with his work, our guy happily goes to take a nap. By evening, the boss returns looking highly stressed out. Assistant A Zhang follows right behind him, whispering that Wang Hu of the rival Tiger Gang wants to meet tomorrow night at Hongmei Villa on the east side of town. Wang Hu is the boss of the Tiger Gang and their ultimate rival. He is ruthless, devious, and their 2 syndicates have been at war for over a decade. A total setup, Liu Ruyan coldly spits out. Ajeng nods, adding that they only want him to bring 3 guys, which is obviously a deadly trap. Hongmei Villa is surrounded by mountains on 3 sides, with only one exit, making it a perfect death trap. Liu Ruyan stays silent, his eyes drifting over to that crazy painting. He suddenly freezes. The red blotch on the right represents Hongmei Villa, the black blob on the left is the Tiger Gang territory, and that jagged tear right in the middle? It is the narrow mountain road where Wang Hu plans to ambush them. Liu Ruyan's pupils shrink in pure shock. Right at that moment, the MC's thoughts drift into his mind. The MC is thinking that the plot of this world is playing out. This dinner is a complete death trap where Liu Ruyan's top fighter, Black Panther, gets blown to pieces. After that, the boss will get jumped by 100 thugs. Sure, his main character plot armor will save him, but he will end up with broken ribs and almost die. What a dirty move by that old snake Wang Hu! Hearing this, cold sweat breaks out all over Liu Ruyan's back. If he had not seen this painting, he would have walked right into a graveyard. He immediately calls his fighter Black Panther, instructing him to cancel all plans for the villa meeting. He orders the entire gang on high alert and commands them to investigate what kind of explosive surprise is waiting in that west parking lot tonight. Black Panther is totally confused, but he obeys the order immediately. Later that night, at exactly 9 o'clock, things go absolutely crazy. The west parking lot of Hongmei Villa goes up in a massive, fiery explosion. Wang Hu's hidden army of 100 men and all their explosives are blown sky high. The entire ambush force is turned to dust before they can even start. Meanwhile, the boss, who was supposed to be a sitting duck, is chilling on his sofa, sipping red wine and staring at the abstract painting like it is a divine masterpiece of strategy. Wang Hu's scheme is completely ruined, leaving his gang crippled and powerless. Liu Ruyan slowly stands up and walks toward the canvas with pure admiration. He gently touches it like it is a priceless treasure, then calls the butler, demanding they find the best framing master on Earth. He wants the masterpiece framed in bulletproof glass and hung in his study, warning everyone that nobody touches it without his permission. When our hero finally wakes up and walks downstairs, he sees massive bodyguards carefully carrying his ugly scribble like it is a sacred relic. He rubs his eyes, wondering if he is still dreaming. How did his literal trash painting get treated like a holy artifact? Bro, what is actually wrong with this world? Seeing the boss's worshipful gaze, our MC completely gives up on life. He is just too tired. This whole place is insane, but hearing his hopeless thoughts, Liu Ruyan actually walks over and kisses his forehead, thanking him for saving his life again. The boss's voice is literally trembling with gratitude. Our guy just stares back with his mouth wide open, unable to say a single word. He feels like his dream of a private tropical island and a bikini-filled beach just drifted another light year away. Since playing dumb is not working, he needs a brand new strategy. He still plans to escape, but he needs to secure some serious starting capital first. Alright, so basically any money he spends gets tracked by Liu Ruyan. Lin Yan needs a secret slush fund. Goal? Save 100 million. Once he is rich, he will buy some tiny island nation and become king. Can Liu Ruyan even cross borders to catch him? Step 1 of the master plan. He needs a burner phone with 0 internet access, which is actually a massive challenge since Liu Ruyan monitors every single device in the villa. Every single move is right under her nose, so he locks his target on the new maid Xiaoqi. She is a super innocent country girl who always looks at him with timid curiosity. So while Liu Ruyan is out, he casually corners her in the garden. Putting on his most charming smile, he gently asks if she can do him a quick favor. He pulls out a luxury Patek Philippe watch Liu Ruyan gifted him, lying that he needs a gift for his sister who is her age. He asks to borrow her phone to check some shopping sites because he has no idea what girls like these days. He offers the diamond-studded watch as a thank you. Xiaoqi freezes. She has never seen something so expensive, waving her hands in panic. She protests that it is too valuable, but he can tell she is tempted, so he forces it into her hand to ease his guilt. He promises to make her a royal consort once he is king, and after some persistent sweet-talking, the bribe officially works. He gets her old, cracked phone, locks himself in the bathroom, and eagerly opens a stock trading app. Using his last 10,000 yuan from when he transmigrated, he goes all in on Sunshine Biotech, a stock he knows will skyrocket. It is a total junk stock, trading at just 3 yuan, but according to the novel, a miracle is coming. In 1 week, they will announce a revolutionary gene editing technology, triggering 30 consecutive daily limit ups. Just 10,000 yuan can easily turn into hundreds of thousands. His dream of becoming king is practically within reach. He is grinning from ear to ear, completely unaware that right outside the bathroom door, Liu Ruyan is standing still. She came home early today, silently reading his mind. Her face is completely blank, but her eyes flash with deep, dangerous amusement. Sunshine Biotech, she notes. She slips away as quietly as a cat, heads straight to her study, and calls her broker. She orders them to dump 10 billion yuan into Sunshine Biotech. The broker is completely stunned, his voice trembling in panic. He warns her that it is a failing junk stock facing delisting, but she instantly cuts him off. Shut up.
Do exactly as I say, right now. 1 week later, our main character secretly checks the stock market again.
His 10,000 yuan turned into 500,000. He is absolutely thrilled, ready to cash out and celebrate his big win. But right as he's about to sell, the butler hands him a tablet, asking him to check the news. The screen is flooded with massive headlines. Sunshine Biotech just dropped a revolutionary gene technology, boosting its value by 50 billion overnight. A mysterious giant positioned early and made billions. Who was the mastermind? Lin Yan stares at the massive numbers in shock. Suddenly, a dozen black Rolls Royces pull up outside. Powerful elders of the Yan Alliance step out of the cars. These are legendary figures who can make the entire city shake, yet they stand in a perfect, solemn line. They bow 90 degrees toward the villa with absolute reverence, and the tablet slips right out of his hand. That evening, Liu Ruyan returns and hands him a sleek, unmarked black card, calling it his share of the profits. It has no limit, meaning he never has to sneak around again. He can buy absolutely whatever he wants. The black card feels burning hot. He asks with a shaky voice how much is inside, and she just smiles.
She says it is just enough to buy 10 islands. He was only trying to save up, but she made him rich.
How is he supposed to run away now? Hearing his inner panic, she whispers in his ear that he is going nowhere. His dream of becoming a king is officially shattered worse than that old cracked phone, but things get even wilder. His insane predictions elevate his status in the alliance. Now everyone respectfully calls him the strategist, though he did absolutely nothing. He has wealth, respect, and Liu Ruyan's terrifyingly intense possessiveness. Talk about a plot twist. Her eyes are filled with pure, fanatical obsession. Honestly, this whole situation is giving him major chills. It feels less like love and more like she is treating him as a literal future-predicting cheat code. Meanwhile, the rival gang boss, Wang is losing his mind. His failed trap cost him dearly, and things get worse. He goes all in on a bad tech stock and loses half his fortune overnight. The old fox finally realizes something. There must be a hidden master behind Liu Ruyan. He orders his men to dig up every detail on Lin Yan. He screams that he wants to see what kind of mythical genius this pretty boy actually is. His best spies carry out a massive investigation, expecting some legendary secret agent, but the results are hilarious. Lin Yan is just a 25-year-old orphan, a basic art graduate working as a low-paid ad designer. So Lin Yan's resume is as basic as it gets. His only saving grace? A pretty decent face. His goon drops a thick stack of files. Right in front of Wang. The guy stares at this absolute mediocrity, freezes for a second, and then just bursts into hysterical laughter. A con artist! A total charlatan! He can't believe that crazy woman Liu Ruyan actually got played like a fiddle by some random pretty boy. He's convinced all our main characters' insane predictions were just pure luck, and Liu Ruyan is just too blinded by love to see it. A mafia queen relying on a toy boy to run her empire? Honestly, Wang is laughing so hard he's literally crying. If this gets out, the Yan Alliance is completely ruined. But now he's got the perfect weapon to destroy Liu Ruyan by exposing our main character's fake strategist act in public. This is wild, but his chance comes fast at the annual Bingchang Business Summit. Every single big shot in the city is gonna be there, so Wang Hu decides this high-end summit is the perfect stage. To put on an absolute clown show, he even gets a custom presentation made, exposing everything about our boy's past. We're talking bedwetting in grade school to failing college exams, everything. He wants to show everyone what a fraud this strategist is. He thinks if he crushes Lin Yan, the queen's whole mental state collapses, bringing her empire down with her. Meanwhile, Lin Yan gets a text from the queen herself, telling him he's coming to the gala. No arguments allowed. Honestly, he's totally not feeling it. Those fancy parties are just full of fake people sucking up to each other. He'd rather stay home and game. But right as he's making up an excuse, he remembers the plot. Tonight, Wang Hu is getting busted on the spot for smuggling stolen artifacts. Now that is a show worth watching. He's definitely going just for the drama and the free food. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan is reading files, but she hears his inner thoughts loud and clear. She gets a sneaky little smirk, closes her folder, and walks up to him, gently fixing his collar. She tells him to dress sharp because she's taken him to a show. Her soft voice has that classic predator energy. Lin Yan knows Wang Hu is walking straight into a meat grinder, and he's just here to enjoy the show. He's literally just there to eat popcorn, and honestly, I am so ready for this drama to unfold. Now, welcome to the summit. The gala is at a crazy 7-star hotel, massive crystal chandeliers, expensive carpets, the absolute height of luxury. Rich folks are everywhere, sipping champagne. Lin Yan is rocking a custom Italian suit Liu Ruyan personally got him. It fits perfectly, but honestly, he feels stiff as a board. This whole elite playground just isn't his vibe. His only goal is to find a quiet corner and eat snacks. But then there's Liu Ruyan. She's the absolute star of the night in a stunning red gown. She looks incredible, with a cold, boss lady aura that instantly commands the entire room. Since our boy is acting as her only date, every single eye in the place locks onto him. We're talking pure jealousy and total judgment from the crowd. The whispers start immediately, and he hears them clear as day. They're asking if he's just the queen's kept pretty boy. They're whispering that the gang's recent big wins were all his doing, but they just dismiss him as a freeloading leech. They think he just got lucky, but Lin Yan doesn't care. He keeps a straight face, totally unbothered by the trash talk. Let them talk. Reality is about to slap them so hard, he just grabs a glass of juice and takes a slow, casual sip. The queen links arms with him, leaning close to ask if he's mad. Honestly, she's so protective, it's great. He just shakes his head. Why get mad at people who are about to lose everything? He's playing it cool. But Liu Ruyan takes his calm attitude as absolute wisdom. The look of respect she gives him, chef's kiss. Halfway through, the clown of the night finally takes the stage. Wang Hu struts up to the microphone with a massive grin. He clears his throat, his voice blasting through the speakers, welcoming the guests and announcing he's got a huge announcement. He claims he's here to expose a massive scam that'll shock the whole city. Instantly, the entire room goes dead silent. All eyes are on him, and the dude is loving every second of it. He smugly snaps his fingers and boom! The giant projector screen lights up with Lin Yan's dorky old college ID photo. He really went there. It is so dorky that Lin Yan almost chokes on his cake. Talk about a brutal public execution, guys. Everyone is staring at him now, and the secondhand embarrassment is so real. Meanwhile, Liu Ruyan's face immediately turns to ice. Her bodyguards are literally reaching for their weapons, ready to paint the walls, but our boy quickly stops her. He shakes his head, telling her to let the clown perform. The higher he climbs, the harder he'll fall. Hearing his thoughts, her rage turns into pure amusement. She's ready to watch this absolute idiot dig his own grave. And the show is just starting. Wang Hu opens his little presentation and starts roasting Lin Yan's entire life. He tells everyone Lin Yan grew up in an orphanage, went to a trash college, and was basically a broke nobody. A total bottom-tier loser. Yet somehow he became the mastermind for the Great Yawn Alliance? The audacity of this guy, right? Making a random guy her chief strategist? Absolutely wild. The whole crowd loses it, staring at our boy like he is some low-budget clown put on stage for laughs. People are literally looking at the female lead, Liu Ruyan, wondering if she has completely lost her mind. Meanwhile, this loudmouth Wang Hu is getting super hyped, spitting everywhere as he yells. He accuses her of being blinded by a pretty boy, warning everyone that trusting this useless trash will ruin her entire empire. He is forcefully pointing down at our boy with peak arrogant energy. The villain is celebrating way too early, looking so smug, but our boy, he just hangs his head, pretending to be embarrassed, while secretly trying not to burst out laughing. Because trust me, there is a massive plot twist coming. Our main character already knows that the hard evidence of the villain's illegal smuggling is right on him. It is a golden USB drive hidden right inside his left suit pocket. And get this, the idiot even engraved his own name, hung right on the cover. Talk about zero stealth. Seriously, he is just begging to get caught. But here is the crazy part. Liu Ruyan can actually read our boy's mind. Hearing this, a sharp glint of surprise flashes in her eyes as she raises her glass. She swirls her wine, and just as Wang Hu is in the middle of his arrogant speech, she speaks up. Her voice is calm, but it cuts through the room like a knife. She warns him to be careful not to drop anything from his pockets, since he is getting so worked up, especially that flashy gold USB drive. Yes, the one with his own name, Hu, carved on it. Just like that, Wang Hu's smug laughter completely dies. The color drains from his face instantly. He turns pale as a ghost, instinctively grabbing his left suit pocket while freezing in pure terror. Right at that exact second, the heavy double doors of the hall are slammed wide open. Boom! A loud crash echoes as a squad of plainclothes police officers with serious expressions march inside, their leader immediately flashing his badge. He announces loudly that they are from the municipal police department. He looks straight at the villain and states he is under arrest for multiple high-level smuggling crimes. They order him to come with them right now. While Wang Hu is absolutely paralyzed with fear, an officer steps right up and reaches straight into the pocket he was hiding. And boom, there it is, the golden USB drive, shiny and reflecting the lights, with his name engraved right on it for everyone to see. The entire hall goes dead silent. You could literally hear a pin drop. Then, after 2 seconds of pure shock, the room absolutely explodes with chatter. Every single guest is staring at Liu Ruyan, who is cool as a cucumber, and our main character, who's just standing there looking completely innocent, like he has absolutely nothing to do with this. There is absolutely zero mockery left in their eyes now. All they have is pure, unadulterated awe, and a deep, underlying fear of what these two can do. As the cops slap the cuffs on Wang Hu and start dragging him out, he keeps his eyes glued to our boy the entire time. His eyes are bloodshot, and he looks completely insane, constantly muttering that our main character is some kind of monster. Honestly, seeing him lose his mind like this is so satisfying. Our boy just flashes him a sweet, harmless smile. The tea tonight is absolutely top tier. With this single move, his reputation in the city's elite society is officially legendary. Wang Huo's downfall sends massive shockwaves through the city. Yan Meng immediately moves in, swallowing up the Tiger Gang's entire territory, assets, and resources like a complete boss. With their influence exploding, Liu Ruyan's reputation hits an all-time high. She is now officially the undisputed queen of the city's business world. And our boy, as the mastermind behind this masterpiece of a comeback, he is now seen as a legendary prophet. Even the villa's staff and guards look at him with insane respect. Honestly, they are more terrified of him than they are of the female lead. Everyone walks on eggshells, barely daring to whisper around this genius who predicts the future. Wherever he goes, servants are catering to his every need, pouring tea, giving massages, you name it. He is basically living the ultimate luxury life now. It looks like the dream, but here is the catch. Our boy is not happy at all. Why? Because Liu Ruyan has completely dialed her control up to 11. She literally never leaves his side, even standing right outside the door when he uses the restroom, claiming it is for his own safety. Talk about a golden cage. He feels like a bird trapped in a beautiful cage, looking incredibly rich and successful, but actually wrapped in invisible threads, with his every move monitored. He can barely even breathe at this point, but luckily a perfect chance comes up when Liu Ruyan has to personally handle taking over Wang Hu's old properties. Seizing this rare opportunity to escape the house, our boy immediately speaks up and tells her that he is tagging along. He is so done with being cooped up. Liu Ruyan is a bit surprised by his sudden enthusiasm, assuming he must have foreseen some future danger again. After thinking it over, she finally nods and agrees. Soon, the crew pulls up to an underground parking lot. This place hides the gang's most profitable underground casino, which is the main prize of the takeover, while Li Ruyan goes inside with her crew to sign the papers. Our boy quickly makes an excuse and slips out to the parking lot alone to finally get some fresh air. The garage is empty and freezing, with dim lights reflecting off the cold concrete. He leans against a pillar, taking deep, greedy breaths of the musty air. It is not exactly fresh, but compared to his golden cage, this is absolute heaven. He tells himself that once he saves enough cash, he is running away for good. He just wants to buy a quiet little shop in a random town, relax all day, and binge-watch shows. But just as he is daydreaming about his future, a loud screech of tires completely shatters the silence. Multiple black vans drift into the garage, instantly cutting off all the exits. The doors fly open, and dozens of massive thugs armed with machetes and metal pipes jump out, looking absolutely wild. These are Wang Hu's die-hard loyalists, out for absolute blood. They scream for Liu Ruyan to show her face so they can avenge their boss. The roar echoes through the cold garage, and our boy instantly starts to panic. He realizes this event was never in the original novel. Where did this surprise crisis even come from? He tries to run back inside to warn the female lead, but it is already too late. Liu Ruyan walks right out of the doors and straight into the ambush. Her eyes turn ice cold as she looks at them. She scoffs, asking if these absolute losers actually think they can take her. Instantly, her bodyguards draw their weapons and move into position. All right, so the bodyguards form a tight wall around our boy and Liu Ruyan. The thugs face them down, weapons drawn, and then boom! Absolute chaos explodes. The fight tears through the garage. For our totally weak main character, this raw, bloody violence is low-key terrifying. His legs turn to jelly behind Liu Ruyan. Then, a defeated thug suddenly snaps and sees red. He hurls his dagger. Dim lights catch the blade. It flies straight for Liu Ruyan's back. Everyone is fighting, missing the fatal sneak attack. In a split second, our main character's mind goes totally blank. No time to plan. Only one thought remains. He cannot let him die. Pure instinct. He throws himself forward, pulling Liu Ruyan back. A combat level 5 dreg acting as a meat shield? He closes his eyes, bracing for the blade. Game over, he thinks. But the pain never hits. The dagger stops an inch from his face. At the last second, the personal bodyguard blocks it with his bare arm as warm blood splatters everywhere. The thugs are quickly pinned down. The crisis is officially over. But Li Ruyan stands there frozen, staring at her guy like he has seen a ghost. His eyes are swirling with intense emotions because he heard that desperate, silent cry. When our boy snaps out of it, his legs are shaking so hard he can barely stand. He quickly lets go of Liu Ruyan's sleeve, panicking. He stutters that it was just a reflex, super embarrassed but relieved that he's safe. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan's heart melts. He looks at his pale face, those icy eyes softening. For the first time, all calculation disappears. He slowly reaches out. He firmly grabs our hero's hand. Actual warm comfort. His heart skips a beat. After that, things get super interesting between them. The entire vibe shifts. No more cold surveillance. His cold eyes now hold a heavy, obsessive devotion. Honestly, the author cooked here. He still stays close 24/7, but the icy, suspicious glares are completely gone from his eyes. Instead, there is only absolute focus. He even starts trying to cook for him. The kitchen ends up looking like a total war zone, but he puts his whole heart into the food. He even tries massaging our guy's sore back, clumsy but super patient. He realizes he is no longer just a human cheat code used to dodge danger and predict crises. He is actually a treasured person now, but this sudden warmth does not bring peace. It terrifies our hero because his desperate desire to escape this golden cage is slowly beginning to waver. This slow kindness is dangerous. He needs to act fast and shatter this cozy atmosphere. But before he can plan, a threat far deadlier and crazier than Wang Hu quietly creeps in. Enter Wang Li, his unhinged, obsessed son. He is a calculating, vengeful monster who uncovered how his father's empire fell. But he does not just blame Liu Ruyan. In his eyes, the powerful boss is just a puppet on a string. To him, the real mastermind who crushed the gang was actually Lin Yan. He thinks our boy's ordinary past is just a cover. How could an average guy dodge assassinations and predict market shifts? Liu Ruyan's blind trust completely confirms his theory. If he locks down our hero, he controls everything. His eyes burn with malice. He starts planning a kidnapping. The only way is to lure our boy out, so he digs for his ultimate weakness. He leaks a fake scoop about Soul of the Samurai, the manga our hero has obsessed over for 10 years. The reclusive author is supposedly hosting an exclusive signing event in the city. This news hits his weak spot. He almost jumps straight off the couch. 10 years of fandom. He cannot miss this. Lin Yan immediately rushes over to Liu Ruyan, acting cute and using every dramatic trick in the book just to get permission to go out. Ruyan looks at Lin Yan's rare, excited expression and just shakes his head helplessly. To him, this is just an unimportant comic book, not understanding the hype. But remembering how Lin Yan once took a knife for him in the garage, Ruyan's heart melts a little. He wants him to have a fun break. He offers to send bodyguards, but Lin Yan immediately waves him off. He's way too hyped for the fan sign to think of danger. Flashy bodyguards might ruin his image with the author in a crowded venue. He promises to just go alone, make it quick, and stay out of trouble. Under his constant begging, Ruyan finally gives in. He agrees on one condition. The driver, Wang, must drop him off and wait outside. No wandering off. Lin Yan happily agrees. Man, the dramatic irony is killing me because he's literally walking straight into an inescapable trap. On the day of the event, Lin Yan throws on plain clothes, a hat, and a mask to blend in, then happily rushes out to the car. Wang drives him straight to the address, a sketchy, rundown bookstore in the middle of nowhere. But when they arrive, things look off. Lin Yan gets a bad feeling. The entire street is completely dead, and there is absolutely nobody outside. No hype, no crowd, nothing. Did he get the time wrong? Shaking off his doubts, he pushes the door open. Inside, the shop is dimly lit, dusty, and suffocatingly quiet. The eerie silence is heavy. A guy wearing a baseball cap is sitting silently behind the counter, keeping his face hidden. Seeing Lin Yan enter, the guy points toward a back room. Lin Yan is so blinded by his excitement that he just walks right in, 0 guards up. The second the curtain falls, a dark figure lunges out. A brutal blow strikes the back of his neck, and pure agony flares up. His vision goes black, his mind shuts down, and he collapses. Meanwhile, over at the Yan Alliance headquarters, Ruyan is sitting at the head of the table leading a high-level meeting, looking cool and dominant, but his eye starts twitching uncontrollably. A sudden wave of panic grips his chest. He checks his watch, frowning deeply. Lin Yan has been gone for 3 full hours now. It is way past their agreed return time, and there is 0 news. He quickly dials the driver, but the line is completely dead. Ruyan's face instantly goes dark, and the temperature in the room drops to freezing. He abruptly stands up, cutting off the meeting. His freezing, furious voice echoes through the entire room. Hearing the commotion, the bodyguard captain immediately rushes in. Lock down the entire city, check every camera, and block the exits, Ruyan orders, radiating pure murderous intent. Even if you have to turn the city upside down, find Lin Yan! Instantly, the massive Yan Alliance stirs. The entire organization starts running like a massive war machine. But just as the hunt begins, Ruyan's phone vibrates with an unknown video. With trembling hands, he opens it. In the dark footage, Lin Yan is tied tightly to a steel chair, completely unconscious. His face is deathly pale. The next second, a leather boot brutally grinds directly into Lin Yan's forehead. The camera slowly pans up to reveal a young, handsome guy with a sick, twisted grin on his face. It is Wang Li. His chilling voice echoes through the speaker, boasting that he has Ruyan's precious strategist in his hands. He demands Ruyan come alone to the abandoned steel mill. Bring anyone else, and he will cut open Lin Yan's brain to see how he predicts the future. To see exactly what makes him so special. And with that, the video cuts to black.
Ruyan stares blankly at the empty screen, his pure, murderous aura practically solidifying in the air.
A freezing chill sweeps the room, but beneath his rage is a terrifying wave of panic. Why? Because this time, he cannot hear.
Lin Yan's inner thoughts. No cheat codes, no mind reading, no early warnings. His personal prophet has gone completely silent. He doesn't even know if Lin Yan is alive or what kind of deadly trap awaits him. For a guy who usually has zero weaknesses, our main lead is completely losing his mind with worry. Meanwhile, a sharp pain shoots through the back of Lin Yan's neck as he wakes up. He finds himself trapped inside the abandoned steel mill, surrounded by the smell of rust and engine oil. Right in front of him is a crazy-eyed guy. Twirling a military dagger, Lin Yan instantly recognizes him as Wang Li. According to the original web novel's plot, this guy was supposed to die abroad and never return. Talk about a massive plot twist. The original plot is completely derailed. A cold dread washes over Lin Yan as the shadow of death looms. Wang Li sneers, asking if he is finally awake. He squats down, tapping Lin Yan's cheek with the freezing cold blade, sending shivers down his spine. He demands to know which stocks are going to jump next week. Lin Yan stays dead silent because his prophecy powers are actually just a fluke. This secret is his only leverage, so he cannot spill it. When Lin Yan refuses to talk, Wang Li just walks over to a charred oil drum. Wang Li threatens to burn him alive to see if he can predict his own death. Panic sets in, but he has to think fast. The novel did not say much about Wang Li, but it did mention two massive weaknesses: extreme arrogance and a deep belief in luck and destiny. This is Lin Yan's only chance. He looks up, acting completely calm and mysterious, and tells him that harming him will ruin his own luck forever. Wang Li freezes, the sheer madness in his eyes fading just a bit. Lin Yan acts totally calm, throwing the villain off by asking if he really knows how the female lead rose to the top. He claims she has a cursed destiny of death, which is exactly how she conquered the underworld. But he warns that this curse has an end. And since he acts as her living luck stone, her curse turns into actual good fortune. But if he dies, the stone shatters and the backlash will instantly destroy her. Wang Li will also be hit by the massive backlash. He will face endless bad luck, ruin his entire family, and absolutely never find a way to recover from this disaster. Honestly, the main character is such a smooth talker that even he almost believes his own lie. Wang Li looks completely hesitant, staring at him. Lin Yan just closes his eyes, acting like a mysterious sage who cannot reveal heaven's secrets, letting the villain make his own choice. He warns that Wang Li's imprisoned father will suffer too if he persists. It actually works. Mentioning his dad instantly shakes the crazy villain, who is surprisingly a very filial, devoted son. He cannot risk his family's life, but just as he hesitates to make a move, the factory doors suddenly break open with a massive crash. No shot! A bulldozer smashes right through the entrance, and there she is, Liu Ruyan, showing up completely solo in a black combat suit. Holding a long blade with her ponytail up, she looks like a literal Valkyrie from hell. Right behind her, a massive wave of her gang members floods in, completely surrounding the entire factory. She demands his release with a bone-chilling voice. The villain realizes he fell into a trap, gets absolutely furious, and instantly grabs Lin Yan by the neck to use him as a hostage. Pressing hard against his artery, the frantic villain threatens to kill him if she takes even one step forward. But the female lead just sneers, telling him to go ahead and try it. She warns that touching him means sending both Wang Li and his dad to the grave together. Right then, intense, loud gunshots suddenly erupt, turning the factory into a war zone. Bullets fly everywhere as the factory turns into a war zone. Knowing he cannot escape death today, Wang Li decides to go out in a blaze of madness. Wanting to take someone down with him, he shoves Lin Yan aside and aims his gun straight at Liu Ruyan. In that intense split second, time feels like it completely stops. Throwing all meta-plot thoughts aside, Lin Yan only has one goal. He cannot let her get hurt. He remembers the soft look in her eyes from the garage and refuses to let them lose their light. He breaks free from his ropes, knocks away a metal rack in front of him, and right as the trigger is pulled, he leaps. He dives right in front of Liu Ruyan, taking a burning bullet straight to his back. A massive wave of agonizing pain spreads through his veins, completely draining all his strength. Before passing out, he sees a terrified, pale Liu Ruyan running toward him, screaming his name in absolute despair. Honestly, seeing this powerful mob boss break down like this is low-key heartbreaking.
It turns out taking a bullet for the female lead actually did not feel as bad as he thought.
Then, darkness. After passing out, he wakes up in a hospital smelling of heavy disinfectant, his entire body feeling like it got completely run over by a truck. He barely manages to open his eyes to look around the room.
Staring at the white ceiling, he realizes he is alive and spots Liu Ruyan fast asleep right next to his bed.
She looks totally exhausted, with deep dark circles under her eyes, messy hair, and dried tears still on her face. The second he shifts even slightly, she instantly bolts awake and looks at him. Seeing him awake, she goes from absolute shock to pure, unbridled joy, squeezing his hand so hard it almost breaks his bones. She cries out his name in absolute disbelief, tears streaming down her face. She is crying uncontrollably, but he jokingly tells her not to cry because he is doing perfectly fine, though his back is actually stinging like absolute crazy right now. As he groans internally, she suddenly freezes, laughing through her tears because he is still roasting her in his own mind. Our boy is completely stunned by her sudden, bizarre reaction right now. Lin Yan is shocked, staring at her like she is a ghost, as he asks if she can actually hear his inner thoughts. She gently nods, admitting she has been reading his mind since the day he broke up with her, leaving him completely speechless as his entire mind goes blank with shock. She heard him call her a crazy psycho, but she also heard how desperately he wanted to protect her over and over. She lists out every single one of his secrets, from the gang betrayal to the serious plan, exposing all of his supposed prophecies in incredible, shocking detail. Every monologue he ever had was laid bare, from the garage incident to the factory, and he completely freezes up, realizing he was never actually some genius prophet to her this whole time. He is just a transmigrated character whose inner monologue was broadcasting directly to the female lead this entire time. Talk about a crazy plot twist here, guys. This is absolute social death. Our boy literally wants to pass out again, but Liu Ruyan just stares at him with an incredibly intense, emotional look. Her usual terrifying obsessive possessiveness is completely gone, replaced by a fragile vulnerability as she tells him he is no mere luckstone to her anymore, but just himself. She does not care about using his prophecies for survival anymore. She just cannot bear the constant painful anxiety of thinking he might leave her one day, and she only wants him. Kissing his bandaged hand, the fierce, powerful gang leader looks completely broken, literally begging him in a way she never has before, desperately asking him not to leave her ever again. This hits him right in the feels. Seeing this powerful boss completely drop her guard and show her soft side is just incredible. She is no longer the terrifying, cold-hearted underworld queen, but just a regular girl terrified of losing him, throwing away all of her pride just to keep him. And knowing he willingly took a bullet for her, his heart completely melts as he tries to smile through the sharp pain of his back. He winces from his wound, but still nods yes, causing a beautiful, radiant smile to break across her face. She leans down to hug him, carefully avoiding his painful back injury. Gently hugging him while avoiding his back, she whispers with sheer, tearful relief that he is never going to escape her grasp again in this lifetime. Wrapping his arms around her, Lin Yan whispers that he won't run, bringing this beautiful story to a close.